There are plenty of entry points for Jeremy's story, but a good place to start is by painting a picture of China in the late 1940s, when civil war ripped apart the world's most populous country. Chinese nationalist forces led by General Chiang Kai-shek fought the People's Liberation Army, led by Chinese Communist Party leader Mao Zedong, for control of China, which at that time was a feudal society where a small elite class lived well and hundreds of millions barely survived. In 1949, after 3 years of bloody conflict, the communist forces won, and Chiang Kai-shek and approximately 2 million nationalist Chinese fled for their lives to the island of Taiwan off the coast of mainland China. Among those refugees were Jeremy's grandparents on his mother's side. Jeremy's mother, Shirley is actually an anglicized version of her Chinese first name, was born to a mother who was one of Taiwan's first prominent female physicians. One time during the 1970s, a contingent of American doctors visited Taiwan to study the advances that Taiwanese physicians were making in healthcare. As Shirley's mother made contacts with those in the American medical community, the seed was planted to immigrate to the United States, where the family could pursue a better life. In 1978, just after Shirley graduated from high school in Taiwan, she and the family moved to the United States. Shirley worked hard learning English and later enrolled at Old Dominion University, a college in Norfolk, Virginia. Her major was computer science, a discipline with a bright future. Many felt the computer revolution would explode in the 1980s. A newfangled invention called the PC, or personal computer, was beginning to find its way into American homes. There weren't too many Asians, or second-generation Asian Americans for that matter, at Old Dominion, and those who spoke Mandarin could be counted on 2 hands. The dozen or so Chinese-speaking students formed a small Asian support group for fun and fellowship, and one of those who joined was a graduate student from Taiwan, a handsome young man named Jiaming Lin, who had come to the United States to work on his doctorate in computer engineering. His ancestors had lived in Taiwan since the 19th century, long before communist oppression began on the mainland in the late 1940s and early 1950s. Sharing the same cultural background and a common language brought Jiaming and Shirley together, and they began dating. It wasn't long before their love blossomed. When Jiaming told her that his plan was to finish his doctorate at Purdue University in West Lafayette, Indiana, they decided to move together to Purdue, where Shirley would continue her undergraduate classes in computer science, while Jiaming worked on his PhD. Don't get the idea that these 2 foreign-born students had plenty of time to linger over coffees at the Student Union, attend a concert at the Elliott Hall of Music, or go sledding down Slater Hill after the first snowfall of winter. Jiaming's and Shirley's parents didn't have the financial resources to contribute to their education, so they both had to work to pay their own tuition and living expenses. Shirley took shifts waitressing and bartending, while Jiaming moonlighted in his chosen field of computer engineering. While at Purdue, Shirley was introduced to a Christian fellowship group and heard the gospel presented for the first time. Curious about who Jesus was, she began exploring and learning about the Lord of the universe and how he came to this earth to die for her sins. She fell in love with Jesus and got saved. When she told Jiaming what she had done, he investigated the gospel and became a Christian as well. They soon connected with a Chinese-speaking church and began their walk with Christ. Jiaming and Shirley married while they were still in school. They liked living in the United States and became 2 of the many millions of immigrants chasing the American dream. They certainly weren't afraid to work hard or live frugally. Early on, Jiaming and Shirley would go fishing on the weekend at a nearby reservoir. Behind the dam was a lake teeming with bluegill, shad, crappie, and huge bass. Jiaming, who loved fishing and was quite good at it, would catch his limit and bring home his haul in a galvanized bucket. They would eat some of the fish that night and toss the rest into the freezer. And that's how the young couple would feed themselves all week long, from the fish Jiaming caught on weekends. One evening, Jiaming flipped on the television to relax and came across a basketball game. The Los Angeles Lakers were playing the Boston Celtics during one of their great 1980s NBA Finals battles, and the sight of Larry Bird and Magic Johnson doing wondrous things on the Boston Garden parquet floor mesmerized Jia Ming.